Right, let's get started. Now, all is set for the people of Dagbon to outdoor their new overlord, Yona Abukari Mahama. Now, he is, of course, the seventh of that name. Today is the day of his inauguration after 17 years of a protracted chieftaincy dispute. Now, this historic event is to be graced by the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and it could unite the two age-old factions of one of the country's largest ethnic groups. JoyNews' Justice Baidu is in the Gbewa Na Palace, where the ceremony will be happening today. And this is his report.
Inside the Na Gbewa Palace, the symbolic lion of Dagbon is getting a makeover ahead of the big day. Bawa Hudu Al-Hassan is one of the young men making a beautiful painting of the lion at the entrance of the palace.
The lion signifies, that is the symbol for Dagbon. So the king, the Yana, he is the lion. And this is the symbol that signifies Dagbon. Everywhere you see lion, you see that there's the Gombas there. Both Abudu and Dane, we are all here. We are happy and we thank Almighty Allah.
In the inner perimeters of the palace too, a motor grader is leveling the field with more clay while water is sprinkled to control the dust. This town is readying itself for some of its biggest guests of all time, says Alhaji Ahmed Abubakar Yusuf, the MC here.
Tomorrow is going to be exactly the 7th day after the Yana was unskinned. And by custom, tomorrow is the day that he will have to enter the palace, the Gbewa Palace, but to be outdoor to the public. So he is expected to be outdoor to the public, to talk to the public for the first time.
For the people in this town who for years endured the conflict that the absence of a substantive king has caused, tomorrow cannot come soon enough.
We're expecting a significant number of people. Just the Yana alone, he's got over 400 chiefs under his direct jurisdiction. And then there are over thousands of sub-chiefs beyond that. And all these chiefs are supposed to be here. This is one of the greatest moments in the last 100 years, whereby the Dagomba people have had unified one chief, or one king, I must admit. Previously, we've had Abudu King, Andane King. Now there is neither Abudu nor Andane. This is a unifier.
For years, the lion of Dagbon went to sleep, and in its absence, its people paid the price, some with their lives. Now, with a new king to be outdoored in a matter of hours, it can roll back to its rightful place. And with it, it is hoped peace and development. Justice Baidu, JoyNews, Yendi.
And stationed there to give us more live updates from the venue is Justice Baidu. So please make sure you stay with us on that beat. Well, let's move on. A victim of the Takrady string of kidnappings is still struggling to recover from the ordeal 5 months after she was found. 18-year-old senior high school student was abducted for 10 days after the first of 3 missing girls was seized way back in August 2018. And she was found almost 24 hours later by the roadside with part of her hair cut for suspected ritual purposes. Police are yet to arrest any suspect, at least not any relatives aware of. But that is the least of their concern. Anaya Ojima caught up with the mother of the young woman in Kumasi for a chat and filed this report.
I pray just as God helped me find my own, He will do the same for them. I pray they are dropped somewhere so they can go pick them up. May they not be harmed. Some money will go into their care when they are found, but the parents must be resolute.
Mama Akos, not her real name, says a prayer for parents of kidnapped girls in Takrady. Her own daughter, we call Amma in this report, disappeared on the 17th of August in Ghana's Oil City, but found the next day. The 18-year-old was abducted at TTR Master's flat on the 7th August 2018, 10 days before Priscilla Bentum. One of the missing 3 was kidnapped. Mama Akos has not been herself ever since news about the missing girls broke. Fortunately for her, Amma was found hours afterwards, but not in her right frame of mind.
She told her grandmother she was going to buy a SIM card from a nearby shop. We thought she would return in minutes because she had put some food on the fire. We were shocked she wasn't back even at bedtime. I had gone out to search for her again in the evening after earlier rounds since I couldn't sleep. I found her dumped a few meters from the house. She looked weak. Her neck appeared hurt, could not keep her head firmly up. She looked like an autistic child.
She could hardly speak for days and had to put her ordeal in writing. Mama Akos reenact her daughter's story.
Red Cross, a Tamako sign. No papa penny be
From what she wrote, unknown men in the taxi cab had asked her where she was going. That was all she could remember. Later, she found herself in a room with a red cloth all over. In there, she saw strange people and creatures, including a two-headed snake.
Baby, I'm a family.
The family says it has incurred substantial debt from relatives and friends to enable them to take care of the young lady's medical bills.
Her father and I are pensioners, so it's difficult for us. We have been to several hospitals and churches in Kumasi and Takrady. Lots of people have supported us financially. It saddens us, but there is hope.
Thank God, Amma is now back to school, but the family still lives in uncertainty of potential relapse since she is yet to fully recover. Nana Ojima reporting.
Now, the search is still on for 3 missing girls kidnapped by a Nigerian syndicate in Takrady. Although the police have a suspect in custody, they're also working with Interpol to eventually apprehend 4 other accomplices mentioned by the suspect. President Akufo-Addo and other government officials are yet to publicly comment on the kidnapping, while all other state security agencies are tight-lipped on the matter. Now, meanwhile, the minority spokesperson on Interior, James Agalga, has revealed that some members of Parliament have filed urgent questions seeking to drag the Minister for the Interior and the National Security Minister before the committee over these kidnappings of the Takrady girls. Now, he spoke to Raymond Akwa on Upfront on Wednesday.
If there is a repetition, a second kidnapping, a third kidnapping,
in this case, 7 of them.
Absolutely. Yes. Then the matter then ought to engage national attention. At that point, the committee necessarily would intervene. The committee wouldn't intervene when just one incident has happened, and the police are investigating. You wouldn't expect the police to intervene. We wouldn't be talking about contract killings.
Yes.
If it was restricted to only one.
I get your point.
Absolutely.
But has your committee...
So there is no dereliction. There is no dereliction whatsoever on the part of the committee.
That can be proven in this case. Has the committee invited the Minister for Interior, the IGP, to come and tell you this matter?
Remember that the committee itself hasn't been active because Parliament went on recess. No. Wait a minute.
Called from recess to come and deal with matters before.
Wait a minute.
The most recent one was when they had to go and interrogate the banking scandal.
Raymond, wait a minute. We all went on recess.
Yes.
Some members traveled out of the jurisdiction. Some other members went to their respective constituencies.
You couldn't establish quorum. Is that your excuse? When the Ghanaian lives that you sworn to protect, in this case, are there?
Can I land?
What you're telling me is that we couldn't establish quorum.
Can I land?
Now, listen.
Yes, I got you. the mandate to provide for our internal security is vested in the executive arm. Oh, wait a minute.
I guess I'm not doubting that.
It's vested in the executive arm. The president and his executive arm are the ones responsible for providing and maintaining the security of the country. The role of parliament is to oversight them.
Yes.
Now, when you are performing oversight, tell me, there have been lapses. 7 girls have been abducted. The committee will meet at an appropriate time to interrogate the security ministers. In doing so, you need to gather sufficient facts with which to confront the ministers.
James Agalga there on Upfront. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee, Setha Champong, has defended the police's handling of the kidnapping of 3 girls in Takoradi, insisting they are doing their best. Now, some security analysts have demanded the removal of the Western Regional Police Commander over his inability to, for instance, publish the girls' identities early enough. Now, he says the committee will invite the security agencies to probe the issue when the House resumes sitting.
To go after the leads that they are offered, and we need to understand and appreciate the standard operating procedures of investigations. Every investigator under investigation in the line of duty are very economical with information. So we're not going to obtain enough information until we get them. Mind you, the kidnappers are within our fold. And so if you are working and you get intelligence and you just throw it out there, you give your leads out. So let's bear with the police service. The service is doing its best. It is not easy to unravel some of these crimes. It takes time and we have to be patient. And I plead with any person who have got information. Once you have that information, kindly let us have it. It will help all of us. Police deserve some additional time. But my only worry is that they must do this within the confines of our law, and they must do this within some efficient timing. Efficiency is of essence here. That you can listen to the narratives. I've had occasion to watch a documentary, multimedia documentary on what has been happening in Takoradi, and I've listened to some direct relations of the victims, and it's natural they have to speak with such level of passion. But that notwithstanding, we are working within a particular realm, and let's appreciate their way of doing things, and we should all be on the side of positivity and ensure that we gain and gain and gain.
For those who may be panicking following all the developments in Takoradi, the message to them would be, we've seen the inauguration of a cross-border management agency a while ago. How does all of that fit into the strategy to deal with it?
No, basically, yes, we need to have a common operating procedure, and this is part of the integration exercise which our services are really doing. And I support this initiative because it's the part of the security governance initiative, and we have to ensure that we have a common procedure so that if an immigration officer accosts any culprit, a police officer accosts any culprit, a customs officer accosts any culprit, national security operative accosts any culprit, we are all speaking the same language. So it is not viewed and seen as we speaking from different perspectives.
The busy Anhojo Daban Road in Kumasi, currently under rehabilitation, is expected to be closed to traffic next week. Construction of culverts on a river flowing across the road has necessitated the complete shutdown. Nana Ojima has been to the stretch and brings us how traffic flow is currently being monitored.
The road is one of several ongoing projects to improve Kumasi's current poor road network. Construction of drainage along the 3.2-kilometer dual carriageway is ongoing. The Feeder Roads Department tells Love News works on culverts will be completed before the rains set in. Edmond Beidu is Ashanti Regional Director.
So what we are trying to do is to fix that culvert and replace it with a bigger size. And we will be constructing a triple cell 3x3 box culvert. So that we are after the design the hydraulic design that we made. That is what we came out, with. So when we finish that one, then we are sure that we'll be able to solve the flooding issue at this place. But what is happening, we cannot do it without allowing the traffic to use the road. So what we are planning to do is to block traffic and then give them another route to use. That's going to be the diversion, and to make sure that we get the route in order for the vehicles to use.
Motorists and other road users have endured the pothole-ridden road for years. Frequent floods due to defective drainage system have led to destruction of property and slowdown of business in the corridor. Member of Parliament for Inshaeso, Kennedy Kankam, is hopeful completion of work will reactivate economic activities.
Because if you look at this stretch of my constituency, that is the eastern part of the constituency, and compare it to the western part of the constituency, the western part of the constituency is the Patasi, Santasi area. These areas have developed. We have secondary schools on the western part of it. But with the construction of this new road and the construction of the secondary school, we are going to build a secondary school at Sokoban as well. So the secondary school plus this double road that is being, or dual carriage that is being constructed here will open up the economic activity here. Well, I myself, I'm marveled about the way the contractor is doing the work. Today is exactly 1 week, 2 days. So roughly it's about the ninth day of when he started construction here. And if you look at the amount of work or the kind of work that he has done here, it is above some of us our imagination.
Nana Ojima reporting.
The First Lady, Rebecca Ekufuado, has encouraged pregnant women to test for their HIV/AIDS status, regardless of their conviction that they may be negative. This is what she said is very necessary to reduce the mother-to-child transmission in the country. Now, according to research, this accounts for 8 children dying every day due to this transmission. Now, stakeholders in the health sector say HIV mother-to-child transmission is avoidable, and the campaign by the First Lady, dubbed Free to Shine, is a stepping stone in ensuring Ghana reduces pediatric deaths through such means in the next 2 years by 2020. Now, Hannah Odame has put together a bit more on this in the following report.
Currently, statistics reveal that 8 children in Ghana die daily due to mother-to-child transmission, a situation which can easily be avoided. Launching the continental campaign dubbed Free to Shine, Rebecca Ekufuado said all bottlenecks which prevented all discouraged pregnant women to test their HIV status have been dealt with. One of them, she says, is the ability to test in health facilities which are closer to the women. Her goal is to see a zero mother-to-child infection in the next 2 years.
The campaign seeks to achieve zero HIV infection in children by 2020, end AIDS in children by 2030, and keep infected mothers alive and healthy. I must point out that some African countries which have achieved or are on course to achieving elimination of mother-to-child transmission do not have the technical capacity and advantages that Ghana has. So we in Ghana can also do it.
The Acting Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Treme Etuahene, revealed Ghana must ensure the 2-year elimination target is achieved, referencing how the country failed to achieve a similar target in the year 2012, and asked the private sector as well as civil society groups to get on board.
The Free to Shine campaign, if we all put our minds to it and work together, will serve as a game changer of the current status quo. We have a golden opportunity now to mobilize and deploy technical and financial resources to make elimination of mother-to-child transmission a reality in Ghana.
An HIV/AIDS positive mother, Faustina, tells JoyNews she refused to check her status when she was pregnant, leading to the child who was born to eventually die of HIV. She advised other women who have already been diagnosed positive to seek help.
They said they are doing HIV tests, so if you want, you should go and do it. For me, as at that time, my perception is I'm married, so married people cannot be HIV positive. So I decided not to do it. I didn't do it. So after I gave birth, 5 months after, the baby started falling sick. I sent him to the hospital, the nearby clinic. It was not getting better, so I decided to send him to the biggest hospital, and that was where he has been diagnosed positive. So through this Free to Shine campaign, you know, this is not the end. We are now starting, and we would like to campaign and talk about it so that those of us who passed through it and then we had the experience, we'll use ourselves as an example to encourage the women or the mothers so that they all go to the hospital to test and know their status. It is better you know your status, and then if you are positive, you protect your child, because there is a way to protect the children to be HIV free.
So what do the children who attended the program understand by the campaign Free to Shine?
The campaign is to educate mothers not to feel afraid, like to test whether they have HIV or not. It means our mothers should not be afraid, or people should stop stigmatizing our mothers that they are having HIV, so not be able to get married.
For JoyNews, I'm Hannah Badani.
Well, that's where we draw the curtain on the bulletin for today.
Well, definitely, but we have more news. We're looking at the newspaper's front-back pages, and we'll all be seated. Achina Brintio, Dickin Achina Brintio is around.
Chinabi.
Benji. So Dickin Benji is around, and then we have Mama Vio Swabwaji as well, and Chief Kidnapping Reporter is around here.
More to come after these.
China Kidnapping.